What's up, ladies and gents, Ghost here. Today I've got some Battlefield news for you guys, beginning with some big CTE changes. The winter patch is right around the corner and will include a host of new improvements for the game, including the new squad obliteration competitive mode. This game mode revolves around a 5 vs 5 game of obliteration and has been billed as what will become the main competitive mode for Battlefield 4, which up until now has usually been 5 vs 5 domination or 8 vs 8 conquest. Now obviously DICE originally set out to make Diffuse a competitive mode, and look how that turned out. Well, let's be honest, it never really got off the start line, did it? But they've been testing and tweaking squad obliteration on the CTE servers for some time now, and at last it seems the game mode has come to fruition. I haven't had time to give it a go yet, but I'm fairly optimistic that it'll be a fun experience. When I think of the last time I played regular obliteration, the main problem was that the bomb carrier's location was just far too obvious, and that having 24 to 32 players on each team all pursuing that single objective made for a very clustered experience. So hopefully the lower player and map sizes, along with all the objective changes they've made, will help to remedy that experience. I look forward to playing with some of you guys from the platoon when the winter patch is released. So that's the main meat of the winter patch, but naturally we'll be getting a few netcode tweaks and bug fixes as well. Some changes have been made to the test range over on the CTE, and dummy targets now have a 100% health pool. So instead of instantly knocking the target over with one round, you can now get used to the time to kill of your weapon depending on the range. Pretty cool. The next thing I want to discuss with you guys is the community map project. DICE are collaborating with the community to build a map from scratch based on our input and ideas that will eventually be released to every Battlefield 4 player absolutely free and not just for premium members. Now I'll leave some links down below so you guys can fully read up on what sort of ideas they're looking for, and if you're interested in pitching some of your own. But from the looks of things, it seems they're open to almost anything. So a lot of people have been pitching whole concepts for a map, including locations, flag layouts, vehicles and more, but DICE aren't necessarily looking for an entire concept from one person. This isn't a map design competition, and they want everybody to be able to affect the design process and bring forth ideas. So the first thing that has to be nailed down before we even begin to think about flag layouts and other balancing issues is the location and theme of the map. DICE will then pick a number of these themes and locations that they deem would work well and put them into a poll, which we can then vote on. So in the end, it's the community who gets the final decision on how the map will be. Then similar polls will be made to decide on other aspects of the map's layout. So with that said, here's my idea. Dubai. Architecturally, Dubai is one of the most innovative and pioneering places on the planet. It's got a landscape to accommodate land, air and sea vehicles, plenty of buildings for destruction and rubble dropping and that sort of thing, and we could even have our own personal lion instead of a motorcycle. Okay, I'll admit that that last one might be more fitting for Hardline rather than Battlefield 4, but you get the point. Police over there even drive around in supercars like Lambos, for God's sake. You can't get much more Hardline than that. Speaking of Hardline, do you live in the UK and fancy winning £10,000? If so, you can head over to the website in the description down below to sign yourself up with a chance. The video in the background is a promotional trailer for what you're expected to do, and that is take 4 of your mates with you, create a team, and battle it out in some live action roleplay Hardline style. There aren't a whole lot of details on exactly what this challenge will entail yet, but feel free to check out the link if you'd like to know more. Lastly, Visceral recently teased that they will be releasing information on Premium for Hardline soon. We can only expect it'll be what we've become accustomed to in recent Battlefield titles, access to all 5 expansion sets with a bit of fluff thrown in. So bearing that in mind, what would you like to see expansion set wise from Hardline? Now, when asked if Hardline would ever have jets, Steve Papoutis did say that if the theme for one of its expansions fit the bill, then they may consider it. So obviously that would be my wish for at least one of the expansions. Something a little more military with all-out vehicular warfare including jets. I don't think one expansion like that would displease the community too much, since the game is heavily centered around infantry already. On the other hand though, you have the tongue-in-cheek nature of Hardline to balance with the theme that you pick, which instantly made me think of movies like Die Hard or True Lies, a lot of 90s movies in fact. Imagine a large-scale terrorist attack where heavy-duty vehicles like jets were necessary for victory. But those are just my 2 cents. Let's be having yours down in the comment section, guys. I'd love to hear them. What are your ideas for the Battlefield 4 community map, and what DLC would you like to see in Hardline? Thank you as always for watching and supporting the video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.